For years, Discovery have been encouraging everyone to make your world bigger, and that is exactly what I'm now doing.
For 13 years, Edd China was the calm giant fixing cars on wheeler dealers. Then, without warning, he walked away, leaving fans shocked and full of questions. Was it drama behind the scenes, a secret project, or something even bigger? In this video, we'll uncover the real reason Edd left, the hidden details of his life today, and the surprising journey he's taken since leaving the spotlight. Stick around to find out the rise of Edd China. When you think about people who turn their love of cars and crazy inventions into fame, fortune, and a huge fan base, one name stands out: Edd China. Known for his tall frame, calm voice, orange gloves, and unbelievable creations, Edd's journey is one of passion, creativity, and hard work. Born on May 9, 1971, in London, but Edd grew up in Surrey, a quieter county in southern England. From a young age, Edd wasn't the type of kid who just played with toys. He wanted to know how they worked. While other children were kicking footballs or trading comic books, Edd was fascinated with how things were built, how engines ran, and how machines could be changed into something new. This love for tinkering naturally pushed him toward engineering. By the time he reached school age, his teachers and friends could already see that he had a talent for problem solving. He went on to attend King Edward's School in Whitley, Surrey, before deciding to pursue higher studies in engineering. Edd's big step came when he enrolled at South Bank University in London, where he studied engineering product design. Here, he didn't just learn theory, he applied his creativity in ways no one expected. While still at university, Edd created something that would not only put him on the map, but also set the tone for the rest of his career. His project was called the Casual Lofa, a fully drivable sofa. Imagine sitting comfortably on your living room couch, but instead of watching TV, you're driving it down the street. That was the Casual Lofa. It wasn't just a fun idea, it had a purpose. Edd built it to raise money for a Raleigh International expedition to Belize, but what made it special was the attention it received. People had never seen anything like it. A sofa that could drive like a car. It was hilarious, it was smart, and it showed Edd's gift for blending engineering with entertainment. The success of this invention gave Edd confidence, and more importantly, it opened doors to opportunities he never imagined. After university, Edd realized he could turn his crazy ideas into a career. In 1999, he launched a company called Comfy Banana Limited. Through this business, he sold his extreme motorized creations, from sofas to beds and even shopping trolleys that could move like cars. Comfy Banana wasn't just a shop, it was Edd's playground, a place where he could turn imagination into reality. Over time, the company's wild inventions brought him media attention, interviews, and television appearances. Edd's first brush with TV came in 1994 when he worked as a special effects technician for the hit comedy Father Ted. Behind the scenes, he was already known as the guy who could make unusual mechanical creations work. By 1998, Edd and his famous Casual Lofa were making headlines. He appeared on Top Gear Live, driving the sofa around Silverstone's live arena. That same year, the sofa even showed up in Jeremy Clarkson's DVD, where it was raced around a track in a style that reminded viewers of the cartoon Wacky Races. But that wasn't all. Edd appeared multiple times on The Big Breakfast, driving not just the sofa, but also his other quirky machines, like the Bog Standard and Street Sleeper. Each appearance made him more recognizable, not just as an engineer, but as an entertainer. He later showed up on shows like Scrap Heap Challenge Junkyard Wars in the US, where his sofa cars became a talking point again. In one particularly memorable moment, he even chauffeured presenter Michael Aspel to the studio for This Is Your Life, all while driving the Casual Lofa. These TV appearances proved that Edd wasn't just a builder. He had charisma, humor, and the ability to explain complicated mechanics in a way that anyone could understand. That combination made him the perfect fit for something bigger. In the early 2000s, Edd's career in TV really began to expand. He became the resident designer on the BBC series Panic Mechanics, where teams built crazy machines under pressure. He also appeared on Top Gear again, showing off a budget Bond car that he created for just 100 pound complete with gadgets like an ejection seat. By 2005, Edd was becoming a regular on television. He was even a guest on Ready Steady Cook for a special Children in Need episode. Around the same time, he teamed up with Mike Brewer to co-host the series Auto Trader on the Discovery Channel. Edd also worked on Classic Car Club, another Discovery show that explored the history and culture of classic vehicles. All these projects built his reputation, but one opportunity would change his life forever. In 2003, Discovery Channel had an idea for a new show, a program that would bring old, tired cars back to life and sell them for a profit. They needed a mechanic who not only knew cars, but could also explain every step to viewers. That's when they paired Edd China with presenter Mike Brewer, and Wheeler Dealers was born. The formula was simple but brilliant. Mike would find and buy classic cars, and Edd would work his magic in the garage, restoring and upgrading them. Together, they'd sell the cars, hopefully at a profit. What made the show special was Edd's approach. He wasn't just fixing cars, he was teaching viewers. With his calm explanations and incredible skill, he made mechanics look approachable and fun. Fans loved watching him take something broken and transform it into a beauty. Edd and Mike's partnership lasted for 13 series from 2003 to 2017. During this time, the show became a global success, attracting millions of viewers and turning Edd into one of the most beloved mechanics on television. Outside of TV, Edd had already built other projects. He owned a garage in Berkshire called Grease Junkie, where he carried out MOTs and services until 2016. After that, Grease Junkie became his online store, selling car parts, mechanical essentials, and Edd's own merchandise. His brand, Grease Junkie, became another way for him to connect with fans and continue doing what he loved, sharing his knowledge and passion for cars. Edd isn't just a TV star and mechanic, he's also a world record holder. Over the years, he has set multiple Guinness World Records with his outrageous creations. These include the fastest shed, the fastest toilet, the fastest bed, the fastest milk float, and the largest motorized shopping trolley. Each record was more bizarre than the last, but they perfectly captured Edd's unique mix of humor, creativity, and engineering skill. In 2012, he teamed up with BTCC driver Tom Onslow Cole to turn a humble milk float into a drag racer. The result? Another Guinness World Record for the world's fastest milk float. These stunts weren't just about speed, they were about pushing limits and proving that engineering could be exciting, entertaining, and accessible to everyone. As expected, Edd has built up a pretty amazing personal car collection over the years. Among his prized possessions are the original casual Lofa, a reminder of where it all began, and a stunning 1916 Cadillac. His garage is more than just storage, it's a reflection of his personality, full of history, creativity, and passion. Edd China that has earned himself millions of fans worldwide. And it wasn't just about his height, his orange gloves, or his quirky vehicles. It's the way he blends knowledge, creativity, and kindness. On Wheeler Dealers, Edd China wasn't just fixing cars, he was teaching. He had a way of making tough repairs look easy, and he spoke to viewers like they were right there with him in his garage. Away from the cameras, his creative inventions showed the world that engineering could also be fun and full of imagination. But then, without warning, Edd walked away from the show. Fans were left asking the same big question. Why did he really leave Wheeler Dealers? Why Edd China left Wheeler Dealers? For years, fans around the world tuned in to watch Wheeler Dealers. The mix was perfect. Mike Brewer hunted down classic cars, and Edd China, with his calm voice and orange gloves, brought those machines back to life in the workshop. Together, they created one of the most successful car restoration shows in television history. But in March 2017, after 13 years and 13 seasons, fans were stunned when Edd China announced he was leaving the show. What could possibly drive him to walk away from a program he helped make legendary? The heart of the issue was creative control. Edd explained in a YouTube video that he didn't agree with the direction the show was taking under its new producers. The production company, Velocity, now part of Motor Trend, felt the workshop segments and detailed repair and restoration scenes were too difficult and expensive to produce. Their solution? Cut down the workshop time and simplify the repairs on screen. For Edd, this was a deal breaker. He believed the workshop was the soul of Wheeler Dealers. It wasn't just about buying and selling cars, it was about showing viewers the real process, the nuts, the bolts, the long hours, and the clever fixes that made those transformations possible. To remove that detail, in Edd's eyes, was to dumb down the show. He felt that cutting corners would erode his integrity and compromise the quality of his work. In his own words, the changes eroded my integrity and compromised the quality of what we do. That's why he chose to walk away. Edd announced his departure on March 21, 2017, through a heartfelt video on his YouTube channel. The news hit fans hard, and social media quickly exploded with speculation. Unfortunately, the reaction wasn't all positive. Just a few days later, Edd revealed that Mike Brewer and his family had received shocking amounts of online abuse and even death threats from angry viewers who blamed him for Edd's exit. Edd stepped forward again, urging fans to stop the negativity. He made it clear that while he disagreed with the producers, Mike wasn't the enemy. Still, the damage was done, and the once strong partnership between Edd and Mike seemed to fracture in the eyes of the public. Meanwhile, Wheeler Dealers continued. In 2018, mechanic Ant Anstead stepped in to replace Edd, working alongside Mike Brewer. As of 2024, Mike is still hosting, now with mechanic Mark Elvis Priestley. Over the years, Mike has spoken openly about Edd's departure. He insists there was no feud. In interviews and podcasts, he's described it as simple. A guy left his job, that's it. But at the same time, Mike admitted the split hurt. He revealed that the last time he saw Edd, they were getting drunk in a Paris hotel, but since then, their friendship hasn't been the same. He even compared talking about Edd to talking about a girlfriend you had 7 years ago. Mike has said he wishes they were still mates, but also admitted he hasn't called him. From his perspective, Edd simply got tired of the long hours and the stress of TV production, especially while filming in California. Whatever the deeper truth, it's clear that while there may not have been shouting matches or betrayals, the split left a mark on both men and on fans who loved seeing them together. For Edd, the show wasn't just entertainment, it was education. It was about showing viewers how things truly worked, not just glossing over the details for the sake of speed or budget. When the producers wanted to simplify the show, Edd felt he had two choices: stay and compromise his values, or leave and stay true to himself. He chose the latter. And while it ended his long partnership with Mike Brewer, it also freed him to create on his own terms. Edd China's departure from Wheeler Dealers was a shock, but it wasn't the end of his story. If anything, it showed the world who he really is. A man dedicated to his craft, unwilling to cut corners, and passionate about teaching others the beauty of engineering. Fans might still miss the classic partnership of Edd and Mike, but Edd's impact on the show is bigger than any rumors or disagreements. He set the tone for what made Wheeler Dealers special: detailed work, smart solutions, and true inspiration. But what has Edd been up to since leaving the show? Life after Wheeler Dealers. When Edd China walked away from Wheeler Dealers in 2017, it surprised the automotive world. For nearly 15 years, fans had watched him roll up his sleeves, slip on those famous orange gloves, and work his magic in the workshop. Well, the story didn't end there. In fact, for Edd, it was the beginning of an entirely new chapter. Soon after, Edd found a new home, not on TV, but online. He launched his YouTube channel, and this was a game changer. On his own channel, he wasn't limited by producers, budgets, or time slots. He could create content exactly how he wanted it: long, detailed, educational, and fun. Edd's channel quickly became a place for car lovers and tinkerers to gather. He shared mechanical fixes, restorations, experiments, and even answered questions directly from fans in his ASCII-D series. In May 2018, he premiered his new series, Garage Revival, where he helped car owners finish projects they had started but never completed. It was inspiring to see Edd guide people, troubleshoot their challenges, and bring abandoned dreams back to life. And in April 2021, he launched another major project, Workshop Diaries. This became the heart of his YouTube work, giving fans a close look at his personal workshop, filled with projects ranging from classics to outrageous builds. With YouTube, Edd proved that leaving television didn't mean fading away. If anything, he became even closer to his fans. Edd didn't stop at YouTube. He jumped into a variety of projects and collaborations, always staying true to his passion for mechanics and invention. Sometimes he partnered with universities and engineering groups, working on experiments and technical challenges. Not every collaboration was smooth, like his project with the University of Birmingham, which faced setbacks. But that's the nature of innovation. You try, you learn, and you keep moving forward. In 2019, Edd added another title to his name, author. He released his memoir, Grease Junkie, Tall Stories and Wheel Adventures, also known as Geezer, Grease and Gratitude in some editions. The book gave fans a behind-the-scenes look at his journey, from his earliest inventions to his wildest television adventures. It wasn't just about cars. It was about his mindset, his determination, and the ups and downs of being a creative engineer in the spotlight. For fans who missed seeing him every week on TV, the book was a way to reconnect and understand his world in a deeper way. Beyond the machines and the fame, Edd China remains the same person fans first fell in love with: calm, thoughtful, and passionate about teaching. He's a mechanical engineer, inventor, and television presenter. But most importantly, he's someone who refuses to compromise his standards. Even when he left one of the biggest automotive shows on TV, he stayed true to himself. He's still creating, still inspiring, and still very much a part of the automotive world. His YouTube channel keeps growing, with Workshop Diaries as the centerpiece. His book continues to give readers a deeper connection to his story. He's active in engineering projects, experiments, and collaborations. And he still pops up at car shows, events, and interviews, reminding everyone that his story is far from over. While he hasn't returned to mainstream TV in the same way, many fans believe it's only a matter of time before he appears in another big project. After all, talent and passion like his don't stay hidden for long. Edd China's life after Wheeler Dealers is proof that sometimes walking away is not the end, it's a beginning. By choosing integrity over compromise, he opened the door to freedom. Freedom to create the content he wanted, freedom to experiment, and freedom to connect with fans on his own terms. Whether it's on YouTube, in his books, or through his quirky inventions, Edd continues to inspire millions. He's shown us that being a mechanic isn't just about fixing cars. It's about creativity, perseverance, and staying true to what you believe in. Even though Wheeler Dealers is behind him, Edd China's own garage is busier than ever, and fans are excited to see his next project. But what about the man himself? What's going on in his personal life? Edd's personal life, his love life, and legacy. After leaving Wheeler Dealers, many fans wondered not only about Edd China's career, but also about the man behind the spanner, his personal life, his values, and what keeps him grounded. And while Edd has always been open when it comes to cars, inventions, and his wild workshop experiments, he's chosen to keep one part of his life much more private, his love life. Edd is married to his wife Imogen, who was born in Norway. Now, unlike Edd, who thrives in front of cameras and car enthusiasts, Imogen prefers to keep a very low profile. She doesn't seek the spotlight and only occasionally appears in small glimpses on Edd's Instagram. For fans who are curious, it's clear she's been a steady presence in his life, supporting him quietly while he builds engines, hosts shows, and tinkers with new ideas. The couple is known to live in the United Kingdom, where Edd continues to dream up new automotive projects. And though many have speculated, it's not publicly known if they share any children together, another detail they've chosen to keep personal. Beyond his marriage, Edd has always been someone who uses his skills for more than just entertainment. Throughout his career, he's taken part in various charitable events and initiatives. Sometimes it's been through showcasing his custom-built vehicles, other times through appearances that raise money and awareness for important causes. What makes Edd stand out is that he doesn't just restore cars. He restores excitement for engineering and inspires people to get involved, learn, and maybe even build something of their own. His legacy isn't just about being the tallest mechanic on TV, it's about making mechanics accessible, fun, and meaningful for everyone. And of course, with such a long career in television, writing, and engineering, Edd has built a comfortable life for himself. Recent estimates place his net worth at around $3 million. That income doesn't come from just one place. It's the result of years in television, his successful YouTube channel, book sales, and business ventures like Comfy Banana Limited and Grease Junkie Limited. But what's interesting is that Edd's lifestyle isn't about flashy cars or Hollywood luxury. Instead, it reflects who he is at his core, a creator, an innovator, a man who would rather spend his time inside a workshop figuring out how to make something work than showing off wealth. His world still revolves around unique automotive projects, creative engineering ideas, and taking part in car events where fans can see his work up close. Whether it's his life with Imogen, his charitable efforts, or his ongoing passion for cars, Edd China has proven that leaving Wheeler Dealers wasn't the end of his journey. It was the start of a new chapter, one he could shape his way, follow his own rules, and most importantly, keep doing what he loves. We've explored Edd China's life after the show. Now let's take a closer look at what happened to Wheeler Dealers after he left. The show after he left. After Edd China left Wheeler Dealers, Ant Anstead stepped in as the new co-host and mechanic. Ant was already well known in the automotive world and had a strong presence on camera. He brought his own skills, energy, and charm to the show. But by the time he joined, the show had already gone through big changes. Production had moved to the United States, and the focus of the series had shifted away from the detailed, step-by-step repair work that had made Edd so beloved. Ant did everything he could to maintain the quality, but for longtime fans, the feeling wasn't quite the same. The magic of watching Edd patiently take apart a complicated engine or rebuild a tricky gearbox seemed to have been replaced by a faster, more streamlined version of the show. Even so, Wheeler Dealers continued. Cars were still bought, repaired, and sold, and the episodes kept rolling out to viewers. But the tone was noticeably different. Some fans remained loyal, enjoying the new approach, while others drifted away, nostalgic for the days when Edd's careful explanations and hands-on demonstrations were the centerpiece of every episode. Those earlier episodes had taught fans not just how to fix cars, but also how to think like a mechanic, and that sense of learning and discovery was hard to replace. Then came another significant shift. When production decided to move back to the UK, Ant Anstead stepped down, making way for Mark Elvis Priestley, a former Formula One mechanic. Elvis brought a fresh perspective and a different kind of energy to the workshop. His technical expertise and charisma gave the series a new feel, and he certainly added excitement for viewers. But his arrival also highlighted just how much the show had transformed since Edd's era. The careful, patient teaching that had defined Wheeler Dealers was no longer the central focus. For some fans, this change underscored the gap left by Edd's departure, a gap that couldn't easily be filled, no matter how skilled the new hosts were. Looking back, it's clear that Edd China's exit was a major turning point for the series. The decision by producers to simplify and speed up the workshop segments may have saved time and money, but it also fundamentally altered the essence of the show. What had once been an in-depth, almost educational experience became faster, lighter, and more entertainment-focused. The heart of Wheeler Dealers, the joy of learning alongside a master mechanic, was no longer at the forefront, and yet Edd's influence remained strong. Fans still talk about him, rewatch his episodes, and celebrate the way he made even the most complicated repairs understandable. He set a standard for what the show could be at its best: detailed, clever, and inspiring. Even now, years after he left, viewers continue to admire his approach, recognizing that he wasn't just fixing cars, he was teaching, inspiring, and sharing a genuine love for mechanics with everyone who tuned in. So, while Wheeler Dealers has changed hosts, formats, and even filming locations, Edd China's legacy continues to shine. He didn't leave because he couldn't handle the show. He left because he stood by his principles. He believed in showing the real work, the real process, and in giving fans the knowledge and confidence to understand it. That commitment is why, even today, audiences eagerly watch what he's doing in his own garage, curious to see what incredible project he'll tackle next. At the end of the day, Wheeler Dealers may have moved on, and the show continues in its new form, but for countless fans, Edd China will always be the mechanic who made it unforgettable. His name, his style, and his dedication remain a benchmark for everything the show once represented, and for many, still does. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.